Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 24th of December. Indian Prime Minister inaugurates developmental projects in eastern India. Former Pakistani Premier Nawaz Sharif gets 7 years in jail for corruption. And no orders on troop withdrawal in Afghanistan, says top US commander. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday inaugurated various developmental projects related to higher education, health, roads and highways worth more than $2 billion in eastern Odisha province. He said the projects are part of his government's vision of making India a technology and startup hub.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday unveiled several developmental projects related to higher education, health, road and highways and culture worth more than $2 billion in eastern Odisha province. During his day-long visit to Odisha, the Prime Minister dedicated a new campus of Indian Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar, and inaugurated an ESIC hospital in Bhubaneswar city. He also laid the foundation stone of 2 gas pipeline projects and 2 national highway projects.
ये सरकार के उस विजन को ही आगे बढ़ाता है जिसके तहत न्यू इंडिया, नया भारत, उसको दुनिया के लिए आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी और स्टार्टअप्स का हब बनाने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि उड़ीसा के ये नए संस्थान नॉलेज और इनोवेशन की ओडिशा की अपनी पुरातन पहचान को और मजबूत करेंगे.
Later in the day, the Prime Minister was also scheduled to inaugurate an archaeological museum in Bhubaneswar and address a public rally in the Khudra area in Odisha.
And news from Pakistan. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was on Monday sentenced to 7 years in jail by an accountability court in the Al Zazizia corruption reference. Meanwhile, he was acquitted in the flagship investments case filed against him.
An accountability court on Monday sentenced Pakistan's ousted Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to 7 years in jail in the Al Azizia steel mills graft case, while acquitting him in the flagship investments corruption case. The court announced the verdict in the 2 remaining corruption cases against Sharif after reserving the decision last week. In its decision, the court said there was concrete evidence against the 68-year-old former premier in the Al Azizia reference and that he was unable to provide a money trail in the case, local media reports said. 3 cases, Avonfields Properties case, flagship investment and Al Azizia steel mills case were launched by the National Accountability Bureau in September 2017 following a judgment by the Apex Court that disqualified Sharif in the Panama Papers case. Sharif was sentenced in July this year to 10 years in prison by the same court on charges related to the purchase of upscale Avonfield apartments in London. He was released from prison in September pending an appeal.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Sunday nominated Amrullah Saleh as Interior Minister and Asadullah Khalid as Defence Minister. Both the new ministers have in the past headed the Afghan Intelligence Agency, National Directorate of Security.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani in a decree on Sunday nominated Amrullah Saleh as Minister of Interior and Asadullah Khalid as Minister of Defence. Saleh and Khalid have both served as head of the National Directorate of Security during former President Hamid Karzai's government. The appointments met with mixed reactions from critics as some of them said that decision was nothing but President's lobbying for the presidential elections.
مسئولیت رهبری وزارت دفاع و داخله قابل ای بود که تغییرات به وجود بیاید ولی این 2 شخصیت را در این 2 وزارت که جابجا کردن زیادتر معنای این همیده که در بوهای انتخابات اینها بتوانند نقش بهتری به نفع رئیس جمهور کشور.
وزرای فعلی هم با یک برنامه خوب کارهای خود پیش ببرند، چون تهدیدات بسیار از بیرون زیاد است و عوامل داخلیش هم بسیار قوی است. اونا هم دچار چالش ها می باشند، اما در تدبیر و در درایتشان شکی وجود نداره.
According to a decree, President Ghani has assigned State Minister Saleh for Parliamentary Affairs to introduce them to the lower house of Afghan Parliament for getting vote of confidence. The legal tenure of the National Unity Government under President Ghani and Chief Executive Abdullah comes to an end next year in May. Thus, presidential elections in Afghanistan are scheduled before April next year.
More news from Afghanistan. General Scott Miller, the commander of the US and NATO forces in Afghanistan on Sunday, said the United States will continue to support the Afghan forces and that he has no orders on troop withdrawal. His remarks come amid reports on a possible withdrawal of a significant number of foreign forces from war-ravaged Afghanistan.
General Scott Miller, the commander of US and NATO forces in Afghanistan on Sunday, assured that they will continue to support the Afghan forces even if they get an order about the troop withdrawal. Miller's remarks came amid reports on a possible withdrawal of a significant number of foreign forces from Afghanistan, an issue which he termed as rumors. In a meeting with the governor of Nangarhar province on Sunday, he said the foreign forces are in Afghanistan to help maintain peace and safeguard the country's national interests and will continue to do so.
You've seen the same rumors I have in the newspapers. All I would assure you is, first off, I have no orders. So nothing changed. We're the same today as we were yesterday, and we'll be the same tomorrow. But if I do get orders, I think it's important for you to know that we're still with the security forces. Even if I have to get a little bit smaller, we'll be okay.
More than 2,400 US security personnel have died in the 17-year-old war in Afghanistan, and Pentagon officials have repeatedly warned that a precipitous exit would allow militants to develop new plots on America like the 9/11 attacks. There are presently at least 14,000 foreign troops in Afghanistan who are engaged in counter-terror as well as train and advise mission for Afghan counterparts.
Moving on to news from Nepal, Nepal's Foreign Minister Pradeep Gayawali has rejected reports about Nepal supporting the Indo-Pacific strategy of the United States. Gayawali, who recently met US State Secretary Mike Pompeo in Washington, said though Nepal's role in the Indo-Pacific region was discussed, they did not talk about the Indo-Pacific strategy.
Nepalese Foreign Minister Pradeep Gayawali has outrightly rejected reports about Nepal supporting the Indo-Pacific strategy of the US. Gayawali called a press conference on Sunday and said that though Nepal's role in the Indo-Pacific region was discussed during his recent meeting with US State Secretary Mike Pompeo, they did not talk about the Indo-Pacific strategy. The Foreign Minister also briefed the media about the issues that he discussed with other US officials. The Indo-Pacific strategy has been viewed by many as Washington's way of countering the growing influence of China in Asia. Reports about Gayawali, who represents Nepal Communist Party, expressing allegiance to the US strategy, had raised objections among many party leaders. The Nepali leader claimed that his US visit was successful and that it has taken the Nepal-US bilateral relations to a new height.
A 3-day-long electric vehicle exhibition, EV Expo, concluded on Sunday in Indian national capital New Delhi, during which several automakers showcased their battery-driven vehicles. The exhibition was aimed at educating the visitors about the benefits of using electric vehicles.
A 3-day-long electric vehicle exhibition concluded on Sunday in India's national capital New Delhi, in which several automakers showcased their battery-driven vehicles. The 8th edition of EV Expo witnessed participation of scores of auto enthusiasts and visitors who were informed about the specification of the automobiles and the benefits of using electric vehicles. A number of new electric vehicles, including motorbikes, scooters, buses, loading vehicles and auto rickshaws, were displayed during the exhibition.
Basically, these are all pollution-free vehicles, and the running cost of these vehicles are very less if you compare to petrol and diesel. And the main thing is that it helps to improve our environment, which is government is also looking for at this moment. The pollution-free. So these all vehicles are pollution-free vehicles, and these runs on battery.
The exhibition was aimed at educating the visitors about the importance of using battery-driven vehicles for reducing pollution and dependency on petrol and diesel. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration has also set an ambitious goal of having all new vehicles on Indian roads powered by electricity by 2030.
A mass wedding ceremony was organized on Sunday in India's western Surat city, wherein over 250 couples belonging to different communities tied the nuptial knot. Scores of relatives and friends of the couples also attended the wedding event.
In a gesture that proved to be a life-changing event for many poor couples, a mass wedding ceremony was organized in Surat city of India's western Gujarat province on Sunday. Around 261 couples belonging to Hindu, Muslim and Christian communities tied the knot as per their respective rituals in the grand wedding ceremony. Scores of relatives and friends of the couples also attended the wedding event. The couples belonged to different provinces of the country, including Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Karnataka.
261 बेटियों की शादी है, जिसमें 6 मुस्लिम बेटी है, 3 क्रिश्चियन बेटी है और अलग-अलग 45 कास्ट की अलग-अलग बेटियों की शादी है।
मेरे पापा नहीं है वैसे तो, महेश पापा ने हमें बेटी बनाई है। हम मुस्लिम हैं, 6 लड़कियां हम मुस्लिम हैं और वो हिंदू होके भी हमें बेटी बना के हमारी इतनी अच्छी शादी कर रहे हो। जैसे हमने सोचा था वैसे ही वो शादी कर रहे हैं।
Mass weddings are becoming very popular, especially among economically backward sections of the Indian society, as these reduce the financial burden on the parents or guardians of the brides.
Around 20 participants, including women drivers, displayed their driving skills on a muddy track in a car rally organised in India's northern Srinagar city on Sunday. The event aimed at promoting adventure tourism besides attracting youngsters towards the motor sports.
A mud car rally was organised on Sunday in Srinagar city of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province, in which 20 participants, including women drivers, displayed their driving skills on the muddy track in 40 different races. The second edition of the Skyview Mudzilla Car Rally, organised by Kashmir Off-Roads Organisation, was a treat to the adrenaline junkies who raced their jeeps through a specially created mud and slush obstacle racetrack. The event was aimed at building a strong community of motorsport enthusiasts and putting Kashmir on the national motorsporting map to promote adventure tourism in the valley.
माशाल्लाह अच्छा रहा एक्सपीरियंस। ट्रैक थोड़ा डिफ़िकल्ट था, बिट ट्रिकी और स्किल वुड मैटर, तो थोड़ा सा स्किलफुली चलना था। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैं कर पाई।
बेसिकली हमारा शुरू से अभी तक मोटिव यही है कि यहाँ पे मोटर स्पोर्ट को थोड़ा बढ़ावा मिले स्टेट में, तो हम कोशिश करते हैं हमारे जो इवेंट्स करते रहते हैं रेस इवेंट्स, तो उससे थोड़ा रिकग्निशन मिले और जो यंगस्टर्स हैं उनको एक नया प्लेटफॉर्म मिले, एक नया मोटर स्पोर्टिंग प्लेटफॉर्म, एक स्पोर्ट्स रिलेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म मिले।
The spectators appreciated the courage of the women drivers who participated in the event for the first time and hoped that they would continue to join such events for inspiring others to follow.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.